They say the Han River carries stories. Stories of merchants on their way to market, of families on a Sunday stroll, of the hopeful whispers of young lovers. But for me, it only ever carried one. The story of a promise, and the girl who waited. Do subscribe to this channel so you'll always get our stories. Also like and share this video. The riverbank was our place. Not just because of the gentle current and the willows that draped over the water like silent guardians, but because it was where our two lives, two separate streams, first converged. His name was Lee Jun, and mine, Ji-min. We were children then, with scraped knees and hearts as simple as the stones we skipped across the water. We built sandcastles, we chased dragonflies, and we shared dreams that stretched as far as the horizon. Our love grew with the years, as naturally as the reeds along the water's edge. He would carve my name into the bark of a nearby tree, and I would weave garlands of wildflowers for his hair. Our world was small, contained within the curves of the river, and we believed it would stay that way forever. Our future was a peaceful river, flowing towards an infinite sea. But a storm came, a storm of iron and fire that had nothing to do with the sky. The war came. I still remember the day the soldiers came to our village. Their boots were heavy, their faces grim, and they carried a weight that we, in our youthful innocence, could not comprehend. Lee Jun was old enough. He was conscripted, a young boy turned into a soldier overnight. We met at the bridge over the Han River for the last time. The air was thick with unspoken goodbyes, and the usual gentle murmur of the water felt like a funeral dirge. I held his hand, my fingers tracing the lines of his palm, trying to memorize every contour. His military uniform was too big for him, a stark symbol of the man he was forced to become. I tried to be brave, to smile for him, but my lips trembled. He pulled me close, and his voice, usually so steady, was a fragile whisper against my hair. "Ji-min," he said. "I will be back. The war will not take me from you. Promise me you'll wait." I nodded, unable to speak, the tears blurring my vision. He placed a small, worn photograph of himself into my hand, the corners softened from his endless touching. It was a photo from a school festival, and in it, he was smiling, carefree, the boy I knew and loved. "And wait for me right here," he continued, his eyes fixed on the bridge. "On this very bridge. I will find you here." That was his promise. A simple, impossible one. And I made a silent promise of my own, I would wait. The days turned into weeks, the weeks into months, and the months into years. The war was a constant, distant thrum. Sometimes, we would hear the roar of artillery in the distance, a sound that made my heart leap into my throat. Sometimes, a rumor would sweep through the village, a list of names, a story of a battle. Each time, I held my breath, my fingers clutching the worn photograph, praying his name would not be spoken. My routine became a ritual. Every single day, I would walk to the bridge, rain or shine, snow or heat. I would stand there, watching the river, the water now a metaphor for the endless flow of time that separated us. The villagers would pass me, their faces a mixture of pity and admiration. The children who once played with me now had children of their own, and they would point me out, a local legend. "That's the girl who waited for her soldier," they would say. I wrote him letters. 1,000 of them. I wrote of the changing seasons, of the rice harvest, of the new puppy our neighbor had. I wrote of my love, of my hope, of the terrible silence his absence had left behind. I tied them with a ribbon and kept them in a small wooden box, a testament to a love that lived in a world of silence. The war ended. The victory bells rang, and a wave of relief washed over the land. Hope surged through me like a fire. He would come back. Now he would surely come back. I stood on the bridge, my heart a frantic drum against my ribs, waiting to see his face among the returning soldiers. But he was not there. Day after day, I went, but he was not there. The returning soldiers came and went, their stories told, their families reunited. But Lee Jun's story remained a mystery. The years began to eat away at my hope, but they could not eat away at my promise. I grew old. My hair turned silver like the threads of a spider's web in the morning sun. The wrinkles on my face became a map of the memories I carried. The bridge, too, changed. It was repaired, rebuilt, modernized. But I still came. The river still flowed, and my promise was still a tether holding me to the past. One day, decades later, a man approached me. He was old, too, his face as creased as a faded map, his walk a slow and painful shuffle. He carried a small, sealed envelope. He introduced himself as Kim, a friend of Lee Jun's. My heart stopped. I held my breath, a lifetime of questions crowding my throat. He told me their story. He said that Lee Jun was a good soldier, a brave one. But he had been mortally wounded in the final months of the war. On his deathbed, he had asked Kim for one last favor. He told me about you, Jimin, Kim said, his voice thick with emotion. He told me about the bridge, and your promise. He made me promise that I would find you and give you this letter. He handed me the sealed envelope. My hands trembled as I took it. I recognized his handwriting, every elegant, flowing character a memory of my youthful love. I opened it, and the words, written decades ago by a dying man, came to life. My dearest Jimin. If you are reading this, it means I am not coming home. I am so sorry. A soldier's life is not his own, and mine, it seems, belongs to the sky now. But know this, my heart, my soul, my last thought, was of you. Please, do not wait for me. I am not worth a lifetime of waiting. Live a life full of laughter and light. Find love again, have a family, and watch your children grow by the river. That is all I ever wanted for you. My promise to return was a selfish one, made by a boy who didn't understand the true nature of love. A love that does not ask for waiting, but for happiness. I will always be with you, my darling. In the gentle flow of the river, in the rustle of the willows, in the warmth of the sun on your face. Love. Lee Jun. Tears, hot and unstoppable, streamed down my face. They were not tears of sadness, not of a broken promise, but of a broken heart finally understanding. He didn't forget me. He didn't abandon me. He had loved me so deeply that his final wish was for my freedom. The river, for the first time in 60 years, did not feel like a symbol of a promise unkept, but a testament to an enduring love. He was not coming home, because in a way, he never left. He was in the willows, in the water, in every part of my world. I visit the bridge still. The steel is cold against my old hands, and the city hums with a life I never knew. But when I close my eyes, I can still feel the boy's hand in mine, and his words, so full of love, echoing through the ages. The girl who waited by the Han River did not wait for her soldier to come home. She waited for a love that would never die. And it was there, all along, in the gentle, timeless flow of the river itself.